What's up guys, the May Patreon rewards are now available. Cyclonic Rift, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and Avacyn Angel of Hope are all available through the end of the month. If you'd like to support our channel and pick up these sweet proxies, you can do so at patreon.com/itresolves or by clicking the link in the description below. What's going on guys? Welcome back to another gameplay video. Today we're trying out another Obosh deck, so if you were with us or if you watched yesterday's videos, you probably saw that we played a mono red version of Obosh, and we kind of compared it to our original mono red list, which, I mean, the original list was very, very good. In comparison though, I don't think the Obosh list was great. Unfortunately, I think it just fell a bit short. That being said, initially this was a Rakdos deck, so I kind of wanted to try this out very, very quickly after, just so we can kind of compare and see how things played out. So that's what we're doing today. Obviously, we'll go through the deck here, but this is attacking on a bit of a different level than the original or the mono red list that we played yesterday. This is looking to kind of ping the opponent down with things like Mayhem Devil, Judith here. We've got things like Serrated Scorpion as a way to drain for some life, Cauldron Familiar to kind of do the same thing. And the idea here is to just continuously recur a bunch of things and then double all the ping damage that we do off of all of these creatures. That's kind of the idea. Now, obviously it can swing in and deal some decent damage. We've got things like Knight of the Ebon Legion. We've got things like, you know, Woe Striders, stuff like that that can get in there. But really the idea here is to ping as much as possible. That being said, we'll kind of run through the list. Obviously, Obosh being our companion here just means that we can't run any even converted mana cost spells, but it does double the damage that any permanent we do to, you know, a player or whatever. So very, very powerful card, obviously, which we're excited about. In the one-drop slot here, we do have the full Cauldron Familiar combo, so 4 Witch's Oven, 4 Cauldron Familiar. This is just great. Gives us a sacrifice outlet with the Witch's Oven, and then this obviously gets to recur off of those food tokens. Gutterbones here. Not an amazing card in my opinion, but it does actually work very, very well with this deck, just because you can always recur it. And especially because we don't have any 2-drop or even converted mana cost cards, this is really, really nice to be able to just slot in for 2 mana if you need to. And on that same note, Whisper Squad kind of does a very similar thing where, you know, you play it out on turn 1, turn 2, maybe you just want to be as mana efficient as possible and use its ability to pull out another Whisper Squad. That's very, very powerful in a deck that obviously does not have anything else to do on 2. Now, Knight of the Ebon Legion is also in here. It has a 2 of. This is just a really aggressive card. It's one that you can power up. And essentially, it's really one of the cards that's going to deal the most damage. Mostly because we can power it up, and Obosh is going to be doubling it like crazy, which is great. Serrated Scorpion, obviously draining for 2. If we've got Obosh out, it's going to be dealing 4 damage instead of 2. We do still only gain 2 life for the record. Spark Harvest here. Another way to sacrifice creatures, but also get a lot of value for very, very cheap. Destroying target creature or planeswalker in a deck like this is a very, very good ability because, you know, we're trying to poke through damage. If we can't do that, that's obviously a problem. So this is going to help us do it. And we can sacrifice something like a Serrated Scorpion or a Cauldron Familiar or a Gutterbones to do that. And then hopefully if we've got, you know, one of these 2 out especially, we're going to be pinging for some damage as well. Claim the Firstborn is a way to steal the opponent's early game stuff. We do only have 1 of these, but we do have 2 Act of Treason as a way to unconditionally kind of be able to steal stuff and then sacrifice it, which is very, very good. In the 3-drop slot here, obviously no 2s. We do have 2 Woe Striders as a way, again, to sacrifice creatures, but also have another recursive threat, and one that, you know, lets us scry, which is really, really good. Murderous Rider is a 1 of here. This is a bit of a tech piece, but it does allow us to kill creatures or planeswalkers. We lose a couple life in the process, but it's a really, really nice thing to have in a deck like this, where, again, we're trying to punch through as much damage as we can. Excuse me. 2 Judith. This is essentially just a lord for all of our creatures, so +1/+0 to everything that we have is very, very good, especially when their damage is doubled with Obosh, but anytime a non-token creature we control dies, it also is going to deal 1 damage to any target. And what's great about that is any target means creatures, means planeswalkers, means the opponent. It can be anything. So we can kind of, assuming we have this out, we can really do some damage to the opponent's board no matter where the power lies, which is great. Mayhem Devil does the exact same thing, essentially. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, deals 1 damage to any target. The great thing about this is it's any player sacrificing a permanent. So maybe they have a Fabled Passage. Well, this is going to deal 1 to them. That's really strong. This is also any target as well. So we can, you know, in tandem with this, really do some damage to anything on the board, which is great. Again, 2 Act of Treason, 4 light up the stage as a way to keep the wheels turning in this deck. This is a very crucial card in my opinion, and you can slot this in pretty easily with that 1 mana spectacle cost, which is great. And then of course 4 Banner here. Not only is this mana ramp to really help us get to our Obosh, but it is also a +1/+0 for every creature essentially in our deck. Most often we're going to be, I mean, literally always we're going to be picking black. We have red creatures, but they are also black, so it would make no sense to not do that. And really powerful card in this deck. As far as the lands go, we're running 22. We have Castle Locthwain here as a way to continuously draw some cards. We've got 10 swamps, 3 mountains, 4 Blood Crypt, and 2 Fabled Passage. And then again, as a bit of a tech piece, we've got the Witch's Cottage. This is just going to be a way to bring back some of our really crucial creatures. Like if Obosh dies, we can bring it back. Maybe Judith or Mayhem Devil. Just gives us that option. So that's the deck, and that's what we're looking to do. I like that this one, excuse me, attacks on different angles than just the mono red version, which was literally just, you know, swing in. That was pretty much it. This does a little bit more, so I'm really excited to see how this plays out and compare it to the one that we played yesterday. So let's see what we can do. This is not a great hand, if I'm honest. The fact that we have a Fabled Passage here kind of sucks. Do we keep it? I think we do, as much as I really don't like that. This might be incorrect, but we're gonna try it. That helps tremendously. Let's Whisper Squad here. Not 100% sure that that's correct either, but to be able to pull these out of our deck on turn 2 seems pretty optimal. We're going to be kind of testing a few things as we go through this because, again, I'm not 100% sure what the right plays are. We're learning as we go, and that's okay. That is a-okay. At least they didn't attack in. That's kind of good. Let's do this, and we'll just go ahead and activate this ability here. We will attack in here. Most likely they're not going to block. So that was why I felt at least a little bit safe doing that. And every damage is going to be very crucial here. We do have to be very careful of our life total as well. But thankfully, a lot of our guys are going to be blocking most of theirs pretty easily in the later part of the game. Okay. So let's play Fabled Passage. Go ahead and search up. We're going to search up a swamp here. What do we want to play? Let's play Knight. And let's play Witch's Oven here. And we'll pass. The Knight just blocks these 1/1 tokens just super well. And we can always kind of chump block with one of these Whisper Squads if we need to. Thankfully, you know, that's not the biggest deal in the world for us to do. Let's do this, and we'll probably just sack it here. Just to get that food token out. We still have another Whisper Squad, so we can always pull out more, and we actually have one in hand as well, so I'm not super worried about that. But we do need to mitigate as much damage as we can here. Another Witch's Oven. Not super the card we want, if I'm honest, but... we'll see what the opponent wants to do here. They may just block with one of these guys, and that's fine. Okay. Let's see. Let's play a Scorpion. Let's play another Knight. And I think we'll just play another Witch's Oven here. Kind of looking for like a Judith, I think is really what we need, or a Mayhem Devil. We've got the 3 mana. I think those are really the big cards that we're looking for. Next turn, we can play out a Whisper Squad and activate it if we would like to. And again, we can kind of sacrifice in response here to save us the damage. We have to be very careful of the big burn spell from this deck. I never remember what the name is, but that's really the card that we have to worry about in this matchup, because that's really the biggest. I hate that card so much. That's so silly, but I just don't love it. Sure. Resolve all here. Also, just want to mention, guys, I'm really excited to say the basic land cycle that we created is honestly... Oh, interesting. They did not attack. Okay. It's not bad. It is on its way. So we will have that to you very soon, and we could not be more excited about it. It's super cool. I know a lot of people are really excited about it. We've had a lot of questions about it, so if you're interested in picking that up, you'll be able to very soon. Let's go ahead and play this one out. And I think we just pass here. No reason to really attack in. We could swing in with one of these guys. They're just going to block with a 1/1. So we're not really going to get any damage through for the light up the stage, unfortunately. But that's okay. Them playing the Stinger here would make quite a bit of sense. Just so they can start punching through some damage on every cycle. And this is a really interesting board stall position, to be honest. That's not bad. I don't know if now's the time, though, to be brutally honest. Nope. I'm going to hold off here. I don't know 100% if that's correct or not. We could have also just played the light up the stage, and maybe that would have been better to get the land out. I'd rather do this when we have like a Judith on the field, by the way. That's part of why I was waiting. It'd be nice to get this off of the field, which we easily can. But I just don't think that now is the optimal time. This is this is a good board presence, no doubt. So here we can just play out Obosh. I kind of think we do. Let's just do this. At some point, we're just going to lose, unfortunately, to, like, the Zenith Flare or whatever it's called. I hate that card so much. But they've already got... Well, actually, I guess they've been replaying them, so they haven't had as many, but that is definitely the worry. That we also could just lose on board. I mean, that's a definite possibility as well, so... Yeah. Okay. Gotta remember, these are dealing double damage. So maybe that's not actually the best block. We just lose no matter what, don't we? Yeah, we just lose. All right. I was counting it up as I was blocking. I was like, wait a second. We just lose, don't we? That's okay. I don't know. We could have very easily misplayed there. Feel free to point it out. these like sacrifice decks in particular, I tend to struggle just a bit with. So very easily misplayed. Misplays could have happened, and I didn't recognize it, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and jump into this game. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep it. We do have a couple plays in the early game, and then on 3, obviously, we've got either of these, which is good. I think that's a better one-drop play for sure. This just, has the potential to deal a little bit more damage in the future. So I'd rather get this down sooner. But this coming turn, we get to double up on Cauldron Familiars if we would like to. Which I think we will. Next turn, what would we like to do? So we can just play the Woe Strider, which I kind of think is the best bet, because it sets us up very well against like a sweeper, which, I mean, this is Azorius control. Okay. As much as that sucks, it at least has escape, so we can get it back. So that's not the worst thing in the world. It's not good, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But for all this work, they are back at 20, which kind of sucks. Let's play you. Let's play the banner here. Wow. Yeah. They just have all the counters. The idea was to pump up the team so that even though only 2 of them would get through, this is going to get a counter. And that's a very just powerful card to have on the field against like a control deck where they're probably going to just like shatter the sky very soon. How much you want to bet they have another counter? Thankfully we have the Witch's Cottage though, actually. All right. Gonna guess they're gonna sweep this turn. Elspeth Conquers Death. That is worse. Because if it was a sweeper, we could have pulled the card back. So that kind of sucks. But let's see. How bad do we want the Woe Strider, I think is the question. I'm going to hold off on playing the Mayhem Devil. I'm very, very cautious of a sweeper here. Especially now that we're going to start pumping this up. I don't want to overcommit. Playing a bit more carefully, I think, against this particular deck, you just kind of have to. Thankfully, we've got a few threats out, so if all they have is like a Teferi, for instance, we can deal with that. But next turn, we can play Woe Strider and Mayhem Devil, which... Technically, no, we can't. We should tap it for red here. This just allows us... This is going to get rid of the Woe Strider, but we do get a mountain here. That feels bad. Well done. Field of Ruin. Good land. Maybe they just don't have a sweeper. I assume they don't. Let's just move to attacks. We can pump this up a couple times. I'm just gonna do that. If they have like a Brazen Borrower, that would suck, but they didn't, so that's good. All right. Good. That's fine. Do they have something to get back? They have nothing to get back. That's good. That was a value-less Elspeth Conquers Death. I'm glad we did what we did, because now they are only at 2 life. So given the right circumstance here, like a Serrated Scorpion, we could actually deal some major damage. So okay. Kind of hate that, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Just get a Gutterbones down. Mostly that just sucks because they gained the life, to be honest. Super dead card against this deck. At some point they're going to have a Dream Trawler, which is going to be bad. That's also very bad for us because it does shut down our own turn, Castle Locthwain, but okay. I mean, this is gonna just burn a counter, essentially, which is fine. But we do kind of have to do that. They still have another counter in hand. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize they used Dovin's veto there. Yeah. So now we can Castle Locthwain on our turn, still because, or excuse me, on their turn, because we haven't drawn a card on their turn. So let's go ahead and do that. Technically, we should do it at the end of the turn, but they're not going to do, it's not like a Thought Scour deck by any means. And this is where I don't like Gutterbones, is that it comes into play tapped. And not that that matters too much, but like, it just doesn't feel like it's doing quite enough. I mean, this one, it's getting there, it's dealing some damage, but I would be much happier with, you know, some Sacrifice Outlet or something like that. Are they just going to Shatter here? No. The good thing is I don't really care about overcommitting. So if they want to counter this, they can. It doesn't matter because we get to bring these back. They're gonna get one guy to block here. Makes sense. Ah, okay. All right. Yep. We'll draw a card here and hope we get something, but chances are we are not in a great place right now. That kind of helps. But they do have a counter, so never mind. It's gonna get countered. Yeah. We can claim their 1/1. We're gonna do it. Why not? Really? They're gonna counter that? Yeah, we'll pay. That's fine. Target Narset. We'll sacrifice their creature. And then we get to pull this one back, which is, you know, something. I don't know. This is a very interesting game. They've got these little guys coming out, though, which really, really puts a damper on it. And apparently we can only draw lands, which is a bit frustrating, but that's okay. See what we draw here. Yep, that's fine. This is just a weird cycle that we're in. It's not a good cycle by any means. Let's light up the stage just because. Need to have something to do. And we've been drawing just a million lands. Strain for one. Unless they have a counter. Which they might. Hey, they didn't. We'll spit out a Gutterbones. We could have brought this one back, but it didn't really matter, I don't think. Honestly, they may just shatter here. I don't know. It's a fairy, sure.
Trust me. You'll thank me later.
Seems like Gutterbones would be the better thing to bounce. Yeah, because this just drains them for one, so like, probably not a good idea. Alright. Oh my goodness, how many lands can we draw? I'm gonna play the Gutterbones first, then draw. Just so we don't lose 2 life. Or 3 life, or whatever it is. Oh my goodness. This is so annoying. Yeah. I mean... we need to deal 1 damage. How much you want to bet we're not going to be able to deal 1 damage? And then they can shatter. I mean, now's the time they're going to shatter now. I assume they're going to shatter now, I should say. There was no sense in attacking, by the way. They could just block, so it didn't matter. Yep. This is so terrible. Oh, goodness. Oh, look, a Witch's Oven. The card that we've been needing for a while. Counter it. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? This is only game 2, and this is an Obosh deck. We should be, like, flying through these games, and we're just not. Alright, Scorpion. If this sticks, we do it. Oh! Oh my god! We did it! We're gonna hit him for 2. Holy crap! If they gain life right now, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Yes! We actually won against this deck. I will have you know, I was so close to conceding. I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is just gonna go on forever. We got there. Perseverance, guys. It's worth it. Alright, last game. Oh, man, this deck is a grind. I will say it does feel like it has more tools than the mono red version. That's not to say it's better. I'm just saying that it feels like because you're attacking on different angles at the very least that it's a little bit better. This hand I'm more excited about because we have a Judith here. So I'm wondering how this is actually going to play out. We do need a sack outlet, but like I think this is a pretty good starting hand that we're going to keep it. We'll lean on the swamp here just because we can get Night Out next turn, play Blood Crypt tapped if we just don't draw anything, and then play Gutterbones. So I think we'll lean that way. Looks like Adventures is our list. Kind of happy about that. Only because we have these double Act of Treasons. We just need more land, but like we get 1 more land, we're in Banner territory and Judith territory, so like we're gonna be doing okay, I think. We'll see. Oh, and there you go. I'm actually gonna attack in here. I didn't think they'd block, but just on the off chance, I figured, you know, we'll try it. There's no way they'd block with this. They may have decided to block with the Paradise Druid, but it didn't look like it. Oh, okay. Well, glad we attacked in then. And then they didn't attack. That's interesting. Pay 2. Do we just play the Banner and then the Gutterbones? I think we kind of do, right? Black. Okay. Remember, we are the aggressive deck. That's why I'm not really worried about them blocking. If they want to block and lose a creature, I'm fine with it. Okay, well, that game was ridiculously quick, but considering we're already at like 30 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and end this one. So, thoughts on the deck so far? That hand was great. I think if we had had more hands like that earlier, we would have been in much better territory, but obviously that's the way the deck is built, so we do have to keep that into consideration. I don't know. I'm going to give this another 3 games, obviously, as we always do, and we'll see how it feels at that point, but I think it's better than the mono red version so far. Do I think it's better than like just straight mono red, like not Obosh mono red, just regular mono red for grinding up the ladder? Probably not. It takes a lot longer, doesn't always win. Not that mono red always wins, but it obviously is very good at winning very quickly. I don't know. We'll play around with it. We'll give it another 3 games. We'll test it out. We'll see how we think or what we think, but so far, I do kind of like it. It's a bit of a grind, so it's not really my kind of deck. But that's not to say it's a bad deck. If you like this kind of deck, it's great. So, like, nothing wrong with that. But we'll give it another 3. We'll see how it goes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to leave a like or a comment down below if you did. Make sure to subscribe as well. We certainly appreciate it. And stay tuned. Those lands are coming. They are on their way, I promise. I know I keep saying that, but they really are. They are very, very soon going to be here, so very excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in part 2 with this Rakdos Obosh list.